Welcome everybody to we are live, not live, we are on our Facebook Extra part of the podcast. Tonight's going to be a quick podcast. We had a couple things, wife's not feeling good and whatever. We were supposed to have Jay on, talk about from Jay Bird Knives. We were supposed to talk about the knives that he made us, but not tonight. We are kind of had to push that one back, and we right now are going to be doing a Daviess County by Lux Row, and it's damn good whiskey. So with that, I wanted to talk a little bit about just the world in general, the whiskey world in general, how crazy it has been getting. Prices are starting to soar. We're dealing with the 700 milliliter, the start of the 700 milliliter bottle. The craze for bourbon is out of this world. And it's something that is kind of cool, but at the same time, finding your favorite bourbons and whatnot, you really got to know what you're doing. And I just wanted to go over a little bit about people as far as bourbon hunting and finding your bourbons. There's a couple things that are very, very important. One is, just like everything else in the industry, is relationships. Because setting up a good relationship with the people who are running or owning the liquor store is always a good idea. Go there, be yourself, talk, show actual interest in the whole world of whiskey, because they are every day bombarded by people, and it's, I see this at work with my boss. If you're in your office and people come with their problems, a lot of people have personal problems, money problems, whatnot. But, if you have to deal with one employee and one money problem or one personal problem, it's one thing. But when you have 50-some employees total between our trucking company and our everything, right around 50, I think it's a little under, but and every single person brings, hey, I need this, I need that, I do this or that. It's just like people don't understand. You might just be asking for a personal loan, or you just might be asking for that bottle of Blanton's, but you might be the 10,000th person that asked that liquor store owner, do you have Blanton's? So you just can't go running around. Can't run around and just ask, do you got Blanton's? Do you have this? Do you have that? You kind of got to set up a relationship with the people that you buy your liquor from. They're usually great people. At the couple liquor stores where I've formed relationships, I love to talk to the guys. We talk bourbon, we talk Scotch, we talk sales, and we talk distribution and how the whole process works. And then I also have been on a couple barrel picks, or one barrel pick for the state, but also I'm doing barrel picks in Kentucky. We talk about barrel picks. We talk about whiskeys and whether or not they like them, or if they do or they don't. It's all part of being friendly and human. And if you can do that, that is going to lead to a relationship where if there is something and the guy sees you, he's going to let you know, because if someone likes you and has good feelings towards the relationship you set up, it's just human nature that's how you're able to get either the information you need, or in a lot of cases the whiskey, because they're glad to sell it to you, opposed to somebody who's not willing to put in any time or effort to find out who they are, find out what they're going through, find out how they do it. It's just like, it's a job for them, and they've got to and they know that the main part of the job has nothing to do with bourbon or whiskey, but they also know that bourbon and whiskey is the stuff where people kind of go crazy. So knowing what's going to be at your store on the day of the drop is a very important thing. Now, also, there's a lot of stuff that gets released lately that's not allocated, even though it's a little bit less rare. So then you got to know when the drop's happening. And the only way you're going to find out when the drop happens is not walk in and say, hey, when's your drop? You know, they're going to... It's just kind of like they might give that information up, they might not. But once you get to know them, they kind of let you in on when the stuff is coming, if it's coming, you know, that type of thing. So that's all part of bourbon hunting. And then for me, running the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, the actual part of the bourbon hunting is being in the line is fantastic. I mean, waiting to see, being in line at Heaven Hill Saturday morning, getting to know all the people in line. All the people in line at Giant Eagle on Saturday morning, shout out to you. We're in line together every single week, and pretty much have gotten to know each other. And if you don't go, you kind of miss the line. You don't miss so much. I'm not always there for the releases. Yes, I don't mind picking up a bottle of Weller 107 or picking up a Stag Junior or E.H. Taylor. That's fine. But going there, getting there between 5, 6, 7 o'clock, waiting in line with the people you've gotten to know, talking about whiskey, talking about bourbon, handing out my cards to the people who are new to the line. That's all part of, you know, the love of whiskey that I have and the love of what I love, you know, what I truly love to do. And I'm a people person, getting to know people. So that is one aspect of the bourbon hunting. So let's get this ball rolling. I am going to start recording and...
Dant Crossing, Gethsemane, Kentucky. Timeless hospitality that stirs the spirit. Dant Crossing is a one-of-a-kind destination for unforgettable weddings, memorable corporate events, day trips, and weekend getaways. The pastoral campus is anchored by Lux Row Distillery and includes an amphitheater that seats 2,000, a 12-acre lake for fishing and unique lodging options, creating an immersive experience that's rooted in the community and culture of our little slice of Kentucky. More attractions will open soon at Dant Crossing, including our 21,000 square foot distillery, which we will have the ability to produce 15,000 barrels of spirit each year, a network of wooded walking trails, fully functional private train depot, farm-to-table restaurant, and the Legacy, a premier wedding and events venue. Whether you're looking to host an event, book a stay, or reserve a tasting, we're ready to welcome you. Learn more at dantcrossing.com.
This is Alan Bishop, head alchemist at Spirits of French Lake Distillery. We're glad to introduce to you our newest bottled and bond bourbons, the Lee W. Sinclair 4-grain bourbon and the Matty Gladden High Rye bourbon. As always, these two bourbons are deeply rooted in the history of our location in the Black Forest of southern Indiana. Always double pot distilled, never chill filtered, made using the finest grains, alternative and historic yeast strains that we propagate ourselves, and the methodology that once made southern Indiana an epicenter of American distilling. Matured gracefully in 53-gallon No. 2 char, new American oak barrels, using a low 105 entry proof. The Lee Sinclair presents an oak-forward profile, which pushes forward the definition and conversation about bourbon possibilities, while the Matty Gladden graces us and demonstrates respect with her 35% rye mash bill. It's not just the spirits in the bottle, it's the spirits of the place. Respect the grain and drink responsibly.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar. I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
Woo! All right, welcome to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny here tonight, and I am here to talk about and taste Barrel Bash Daviess County. This whiskey, initially, when I first was going to try it, was a complete surprise to me. And tonight we'll go into that a little bit in detail. But with that said, remember, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, www.scotchybourbonboys.com for everything Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Check us out there. You can find everything out about our bios we have on there of all of us. Sometimes I'm going solo. Other times I have other Scotchy Bourbon Boys podcasting with me. But then also, when you're there, top right-hand corner, you can click the YouTube or the Patreon connection. But on Patreon, we would appreciate any support. One of the things that you can get there in the package is our Scotchy Bourbon Boys Glencairns, which we will be tasting out of tonight, courtesy of Martin Duffy of the Glencairn Crystal Glass Company of North America. And then also the Scotchy Bourbon Boys t-shirts. And then there's also tasting packages and a bunch of different stuff and ways to support us. And that means a lot to us. Now, we are on all major podcast formats. We are on YouTube, Facebook group and page. Also, you can follow Jeffrey Mueller on Facebook. There's a lot of stuff on there also. Then, and that's me, Tiny. Then we are on Instagram. We are on Twitter at ScotchyThe. We are also on, oh my God, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, and TikTok. So check us out on all the major social media platforms. Really a smooth segue right here. And just remember, listen, comment, like, and subscribe. I'm just really, I'm totally not. It's been a rough day, folks, and but you know me, I'm Tiny, and that's what I do. I fuck up. So this is an unedited podcast about whiskey. A lot of times it's about bourbon, like it is tonight with the Daviess County. But with that said, I think we're ready to get into the tasting right away. I did want to do upcoming events. It looks like, I'm pretty sure, if it all goes well, Saturday, July 9th is going to be the next Scotchy Bourbon Boys meeting. It will be here at my house. But then, June 9th, we will be going to, this is just a week away. I'm so freaking excited right now. We are going down with Sandy No. We are going on a Knob Creek pick with Carrie Sullivan of the Barrel Room, myself, Roxy, and Sandy No, Fred No's wife, the 7th generation master distiller, and Freddie No's mom, 8th generation master distiller. We've got, and she's going to be on this barrel pick with us. We're going to be at Jim Beam picking a Knob Creek barrel for the Scotchy Bourbon Boys in the Barrel Room. It will be called the Barrel Room Scotchy Bourbon Boys Select. You will be able to, once we know how many bottles this is going to produce, I will be putting it up and offering vouchers that you will be able to prepay for and get your bottle. We will have two types of vouchers. One will be one where we can ship it and include shipping, and another will be a voucher that you will be able to pick it up. There is a chance that we will have a two-tiered pickup system where if you're living in Kentucky or southern Ohio, there will be a pickup there. And then if you're living in Ohio, there'll be a pickup here in Canton. So, but I'm so excited for that barrel pick. I just can't wait. I've gone on now a good amount of barrel picks and picked with some really, really amazing people and palates. I mean, Macaulay Minton at Wilderness Trail heads up their barrel program. Fantastic palate. Justin Thompson from Justin's House of Bourbon. Unbelievable palate. You're talking about also we've been picking with Randy Brassey. He downplays his palate, but he has a really, really good palate for bourbon. And then also we've tasted with Connor O'Driscoll from Heaven Hill, and we also tasted with Freddie No last year on the Knob Creek pick. So lots of experience with experienced tasters. And then also when I'm on the podcast, we've tasted bourbon, not as far as barrel picks, but just tasted bourbon. I mean, Bill Hockett, there's Alan Bishop. I mean, tasting whiskey with Alan Bishop is like a religious experience. And then you've got Greg Schneider, also from Chicken Cock Whiskey, who's been a big part of what we do. And with him, there's so much of the career that has gone into what he's doing with this. And so there's just so many people and so many whiskeys that we tasted with. So you kind of start to get a feel for what a lot of people like and how close your palate is to other people's palates. So last year, that Knob Creek pick at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival that I was on with Steve Coombs and Randy, and then both Justins from Justin's House of Bourbon, and then Freddie was there, myself. I mean, it was an amazing pick. I agree. It was just so awesome. So we've got that coming up. But after that pick, everybody, the 10th and 11th, which is not this coming weekend, but the next weekend, or a Friday and Saturday, is the Bardstown Barbecue Challenge, the Kentucky Bourbon Festival Bardstown Barbecue Challenge at Lux Row Distillery. Tickets are still available. We are going to be there, the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Come by, say hi. We look forward to seeing everybody. It's just going to be an amazing weekend that we are excited for. And then you've got Kentucky Bourbon Festival, September 16th through the 19th. And the 15th is Bourbon in the Air. That kicks it off the night of that Thursday night. But we have our Scotchy Bourbon Boys bus tour the Wednesday. We're working on a Spirit of French Lick barrel pick on Tuesday. I mean, we've got this thing booked for a whole week. I always feel like it's like we're down there for 9 days. That we're going to be down there the 10th all the way to the 18th, and all the way to the 18th. And those days, you think you got a lot of time, but we don't. It's booked, and it's such a blast. So look forward to doing all the things with the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We look forward to seeing you down in Kentucky in a couple weeks, and then we also look forward to seeing you at the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. And then we are going to be at a brewery in Springfield. Check out the Scotchy Bourbon Boys page. The ad for that, it's a night of cigars and tasting. We are a part of that tasting dinner experience that you can see us. It's just, Springfield is just a little bit, I believe, east of Dayton. Yes. So check it out. Check us out there. Come say hi. That starts, I believe, at 4 o'clock. 4 to 8 o'clock, so that's just going to be a blast also. So Scotchy Bourbon Boys this summer are going on the road. We're going to be podcasting from all the different places, all the different distilleries and whatnot, but at the same time, you can come visit us at these different events. So with that that put in there, let's look at the Daviess County lineup that we have tonight. I'm just going to go through these. I did have my glasses, and they just I did not move. There they are. They're down there. I need this, and I also I'm going to use my light for this one because it just makes sense to use the light. All right, here we go. The first one I picked up right at the distillery. And one of the things about Daviess's County is that this was an original distillery, and they've revived this brand. And this one is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in French oak casks. It's the heritage from 1874. This is a unique combination of 2 bourbon mash bills, a smooth wheated and a traditional rye for balanced sweetness and spice. It's a sour mash, a limited edition, and this unique bourbon, finished in French oak casks, honors the rich history and tradition started in 1874 by the Daviess County Distilling Company, one of Kentucky's original distilleries that helped contribute to the state's reputation as the home of great bourbon. So, this is a Lux Row product. It was distilled in Kentucky, bottled for Lux Row Distillers in Bardstown. So there's a lot of it is Luxco is now owned by MGP. So there's a lot of different stuff that's gone into this, but this one that we're that's the first one we're gonna taste. And all of them that we're tasting tonight are 96. It seems to be the standard thing. But one of the cool things is that when this was first introduced and was hitting shelves last, I believe, 2 years ago, I was able to pick up that you had a choice between wine finish and oak finish, and also just the straightforward bourbon. And I went with the straightforward bourbon. It's got this blue label. You can see it right there. And it's same thing, 96. It's straight bourbon whiskey. But my first bottle, I bought this, and I was blown away. I think it was done within a week. I had to go out and get this bottle that I'm holding right here. So that was kind of a cool little thing. But I'm going to take a sip of that French oak. I have a healthy pour here in my Glencairn. I'm going to roll it around, but this double oaked, if you pick it up, we're getting into like a dark caramel as far as color. So, you go from caramel to mahogany to molasses. It's not red enough for the mahogany. It's got the darker caramel color. And the nose on this, there's a lot of oak, a ton of vanilla. Now, when you're tasting, we've talked about this a lot. It's like you always have a dominant nostril, and tonight, the dominant nostril. Oh, I get some vanilla pudding right there. Some really creaminess. Jeff? Dear, I'm podcasting. Oh, never mind. Sorry for the interruption there. So, God. Oh. At 96 proof, this drink's way hotter. What it does, if you look at those legs, oh wow. That is what you want in your Glencairn. Those dripping back in. Look how long they're staying on the side, just pooling back into the glass. I would say That is for whatever reason. Okay, so Lux Row makes a bunch of different lines of really good bourbon, in my opinion. It might not have been as good as it is now, but what it is now is insane. They've got the Rebel, they've got the Ezra Brooks, and they've got the Daviess County. Plus they got, I believe it's Dave Nichols. Nichols or Nicholson. I have not had it, but I'm going to have to really visit it. And then there's also the Lux Row 12-year double barrel collection that they sell from the distillery, and they also make Blood Oath. So, I mean, this company is like on fire as far as good bourbon. But this line here hits my palate where Ezra Brooks is good. It's more of it's a real kind of standard line of bourbon, where Rebel Yell is a kick-ass spicy bourbon, and Rebel, they except for the Rebel 10. And then this is a Kentucky flavor bomb bourbon, this line. So this French, it's double, it's put in the cask twice, but it's used as French oak. So it's similar to dropping some staves in, maybe. But this is absolutely, completely delicious. And so the flavor, dark, rich, burnt caramel, toffee, and then butterscotch. And then on the back of the palate, I'm going to say a little bit leathery oak. Nice hug. It's not a huge, hot hug. It's there. But the finish is medium. But it's a 96 proof, so a lot of times you're not going to get that long finish. So let's see. We got that one down. Drink up. I'm not going to actually barrel bash this. I'm going to score it. Through the barrel bashing system, I will give the nose is a 3. We'll barrel bash the special double barreled, finished in white oak. So that was another distillery release, and then also but this, if I'm going to give this a rating, I'll give the nose a 3. I give the taste a 4. I give the body a 3. And I give the finish a 3. So we're total of 9. So on this one, out of a total of 18, I give this a 13. And there's nothing wrong with something coming up with a 13 out of 18, would you say? So let's drink the one that I loved that got me into the actual Daviess County line, and why I drank it. All right, we'll go a little bit less pour. Now, this one in my glass is a lot less dark. It's just caramel. It's not a dark caramel. Definitely a lighter. Still 86 proof. Let's see what those legs are doing. It's the same, but I believe, I'm not mistaken. Now let's hit the glasses again. And this is, and I'll just go through. This is 96 proof, like I said. It's a unique combination of 2 bourbon mash bills. That's the same wheated mash bill kind of thing. But this is just straight bourbon whiskey. It's not finished. And the back is rich history. Yep, it's the same as the back reading. It just tells you it's a straight bourbon whiskey. So this is their $39.99. This is not an expensive bourbon, this one. And let's see, it's been in the bottle for a little bit and been sitting. Let's see what a little bit of time has done. I love what the body is on the side. It's very similar to the double French oaked. Oh. This nose is caramel and vanilla. It's very similar to the other one. A little bit peppery. I'm getting a little pepper on the nose. No ethanol. No nothing. Let's see. God. Creme brulee. Believe it or not, this is smoother and sweeter. Same proof. This is a delicious whiskey. A little less hug, but there's a what'd you say? Instead of oak leather, it's more like there's an aspect of the wood, the tannins on that aren't as good as the other one. So I'm gonna quick score that where I gave the other one a 13 out of. I give this a 3, the taste a 4. I'm gonna give the body a 3, so we're 10, but the finish I gotta give a 2, so it's 12. So it's a little bit less than, but you're talking about a big difference in price. I believe it's a $40 difference between those two bottles. And this drink's still very delicious. I guess you're not going to get when you buy a bottle of, this is definitely a drinking whiskey. It's not your high end, but it's still damn delicious. I'm trying to think. I've been doing my nosing. I'm going to say on the finish, there's a little bit of an acetone. I've been, doing my aroma kit, and I'm picking up a little bit of maybe something that's left in the, that's in there. So, all right, so I gave that 12 out of 13 in the heads. Now here we go. This is the one we're going to actual barrel bash for you folks. And this you can pick up that I picked up at the distillery. I'll pour a little bit of that in there. And this particular Daviess County, once again, let's see what I did with the glasses. Yeah. Put these babies on. Get that phone lit. Phone is lit. All right. This is a double barrel. So Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, finished in Missouri white oak barrels. Proud supporter of Ducks Unlimited. Okay. This is finished in fresh Missouri white oak barrels with a number 2 char and toasted heads, delivering a shot of rich dark chocolate and caramel notes. Double barrel finished. So that's what's on the front. And we'll just do this one. Whether you're shouldering an over, under, or side by side, 2 barrels are better than 1. This bourbon celebrates time-honored tradition of duck hunting and the camaraderie that follows. We're proud to partner with Ducks Unlimited for this unique offering. So there you go. Ducks Unlimited, barrel selected bourbon, and I was able to get this special release at the distillery, and that's one of the things. Lux Row is in right there, Bardstown Bourbon Company, and then right across the way is Lux Row Distillery. You've got Barton's, Jim Beam, Lux Row, Four Roses, Heaven Hill, all within minutes of each other. It's just crazy what goes on down there. So we are going to get serious on this Daviess County. And those are pretty bottles, aren't they? So here we go. Now this nose is pretty. There's a little bit of chocolate in there, folks. What kind? It smells like the Almond Joy, like an almond. Mounds has nuts. Smells like a Mounds. I can get that chocolate on there. It doesn't have a little bit of pepper on this. The pepper's gone. That nose goes high. Now, sometimes when you're nosing, you could start at the bottom and use your dominant nostril, but then if you raise it up, drop the glass down a little bit to take it to the top of the lip, you can get other flavors. I think there's even an almond flavor to this too. All right, let's drink it. Damn, that's delicious. I'm glad I decided to barrel bash this. All right. I believe it's running back in there too. You can see those legs. Look at that one go up the side right there. It's just like crazy. All right, so the nose on this one is better than the other two. So therefore I have to give it a 4. Oh. Same body, but taste is a 5. That's a delicious bourbon. So you got 9. Now, when you talk about body, same thing. Same places, doesn't hit your cheeks, doesn't go whatever. I give that a 3. So now we're at 12 out of 5, 4, 9, 12 out of 13. And you can give the finish a 5 because the finish leaves what's left in your mouth here. The aspect of the expression of their straight bourbon, the part that was there that was a little bit not compared to the other bourbon is not as palatable, but this doesn't have any of that. There is such a rich dark chocolate. All right, chocolate on the finish, almonds. That's medium to long finish. I'm going to have to give the finish a 4. Which takes me to 16 out of 18. Very delicious. So this particular one I believe was $99 at the distillery. The first double oaked I believe was $79, and the straight bourbon that you can pick up on your store shelf, which I highly recommend, $39.99. So you're looking at the 3 different levels, and they basically tasted at 3 different levels. You got the 30, all of them were good. I mean, you're talking, I think this was 12 out of 18, 13 out of 18, and 16 out of 18. So as you go up, you got something. So what that tells me is that Lux Row and the people, John Rimpey, who is the master distiller, and the people who are helping him, their palates understand what they're doing. Their price point and their it seems to be just dead nuts on. So with that said, I really think Lux Row, now owned by MGP, but since that's happened, I haven't seen anything but positive results coming out of Lux Row, and they're also affiliated with Luxco is affiliated in MGP with Limestone Branch, which is upping their game too. So, but this line is one of my favorite lines. There wasn't a bad bourbon in the bunch, and I highly recommend, if you have not had Daviess County, if you're in the Bardstown area, stop by the distillery. Get there in the morning. They have special releases daily. If they're not releasing the Daviess County, they're releasing the Rebels. If they're not releasing the Rebels, they're releasing the Ezra Brooks. If they're not releasing the Ezra Brooks, they're releasing their special bottle for the distillery, the Lux Row 12-year. And if they're not doing that, they're releasing Blood Oath, or they're doing a mixture. So I find if you're a bourbon hunter and you like good bourbon, you're going to get something when you go to the distillery. So anyways, that was delicious. Let me finish this off, and we'll finish off this podcast for tonight. Again, remember, I'm Tiny, Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're going to be going to the barbecue, the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, Bardstown Bourbon, the Bardstown Barbecue. Oh God, that's messing it up. I had it. I said it earlier. Let's go off with that. It's the Kentucky Bourbon Festival Bardstown Barbecue Competition. So make sure that you guys get there. I believe Friday is the distilleries, and Saturdays is the it's at the Log Still Distillery, and then Saturday is the national barbecue competitors competing. But there's going to be barbecue food service the whole time. And I saw what was on the menu just earlier, and it looked absolutely delicious. Briskets, sausages, I mean, everything. They got it covered. They're going to, it's going to be a good event. We'll be there. Make sure you stop by, say hi, take pictures, and remember, everybody, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. www.scotchybourbonboys for all Scotchy Bourbon Boys memorabilia and stuff. And also Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels. We're just everywhere. So check us out. Remember, like, listen, comment, and subscribe. With that said, everybody, good night. Remember, good bourbon and whiskey equals good times, good friends, and go out and live your life dangerously.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next
All right, we stopped recording. We're still on YouTube. Let me quickly do what I always do, save this up, and we'll finish up short and sweet tonight. So, file, publish to uploading. Boy, I stuck it in movies. How did I do that? How dumb. All right, everybody. As you all know, we tasted these 3 fine expressions. Leave comments and make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube. We greatly appreciate everything that you do for us. Remember, we're going to be all out and about. We love to see members when we're out and about. So if you see us, stop by, say hi, make sure. And with that, remember, good bourbon equals good friends, good times, and go out there and live your life dangerously.
The Watershed Story. A watershed moment might be pivotal, but it might also be quiet and fleeting. It could be a monumentous occasion, a cause for celebration, an enormous triumph, or a small daily victory. A watershed moment could be a rekindling or an observation or a gathering. Any opportunity to relish with friends and family. It's whatever you choose to cheers to, who you're gathered around, and whatever's worth celebrating. We founded Watershed Distillery on the principles of community in 2010. We wanted to live in, work in, and contribute to the community in which we grew up. We aimed to create spirits and stood apart in quality and character. Along the way, we set out to form a community of our own, one that could gather together to savor, celebrate, and enjoy good spirits and company. We've grown from a tiny little still and 2 guys in jumpsuits to a dedicated team of over 40 people and 2 much larger stills. If you're ever in the area, stop by so we can introduce you to our team and pour you some of our award-winning bourbon. Creating it was our watershed moment, but we want to hear about yours.